Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri to visit the crash site of the Calicut plane crash. DGCA Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, Flight Safety Department and other Air India senior officials reached Calicut for investigation. 2 special flights arranged from Delhi and Mumbai for rendering humanitarian assistance to passengers. At least 18 died, including both pilots in the Kozhikode plane tragedy. Air India Express aircraft from Dubai to Kozhikode with 190 passengers crashed after overshooting the runway and breaks into 2 parts. Rescue operations complete in Calicut train crash mishap. Injured persons taken to nearby hospitals for medical care. MOS External Affairs V. Muralidharan reaches Calicut to meet those injured. President, Vice President, Prime Minister, Home Minister, Defence Minister and External Affairs Minister and other senior leaders expressed grief over the tragic accident. International Civil Aviation Organization also expressed grief over the plane crash. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Rashtriya Swachhata Kendra, an interactive experience center of the Swachh Bharat mission today. Kendra to impart information, awareness and education on Swachhata mission. India's COVID-19 recovery rate continues to improve further to touch 68% with over 13,78,000 recoveries. Case fatality rate declines to 2.05%. Over 6,39,000 tests conducted in the last 24 hours. Global COVID-19 cases reach 1,95 lakhs with 7,22,000 deaths. And Manchester City shock Real Madrid with a 2-1 win to knock out 13-time European champions from the UEFA Champions League. Ronaldo scores, but Juventus too missed the quarter-final berth on away goals. Good morning. Welcome to English News. I am Anil Thomas. And now for the stories in detail. Starting first up with updates from the Calicut plane crash. Well, at this point of time, before we get going, we're joined by the Malappuram DC there, Gopalakrishna, giving us more updates on that particular story. Good morning, sir. Sir, give us the update when it comes to the people who are there in the hospital, those injured. Is there an update on them? The death toll that we last reported, is there an update on that too?
Okay. This actually happened yesterday night and we rescued all the people within 1 hour 30 minutes, and as of now the total casualty is 18 people.
Okay.
And remaining people are admitted in different hospitals, and in that 16 of them are serious and they are under observation. Remaining are stable. Some of them required surgery and we have done that, and all of them are given high priority medical treatments, so we are taking care of them very well, so no other issues.
Okay.
As of now.
Okay. Considering there were
18 casualties, they will be doing the COVID testing and we will be start doing post-mortem as soon as possible.
Okay, looking at that, the patients that are there in the hospital, what's the update on them? Are any of them serious? How's the condition of those admitted in the hospital?
I think you missed the point I told you. I told already 16 of them are serious.
Okay.
And they are under critical observations. And a few of them are on ventilators too.
Okay. Looking at this particular incident, sir, what are the initial, pointers that have come, to your notice, especially when it comes to this particular accident?
It's too early to see the reasons now. The expert teams are here.
Okay.
They are already started doing inspection of the accident site and see what happened. So they will be coming with the actual, what could be the actual reason. So once we have expert committees, inspection report, we'll have a clarity on that.
Okay, talking about the, the emergency service that was pushed into place there, how has that been? And when will you see this particular debris there, the debris being cleared from that particular area of accident?
See, debris are not hindrance to the airport operation as of now.
Okay.
Okay, it's a tabletop airport, and the debris are like 50 meters down in valley. So debris are not issue. So the Air India Express and Airport Authority of India take necessary actions to clear the debris.
Okay. Also, with regards to rains there, when this plane was, about to land, considering that there was rain, this plane could have caught fire. So was it a blessing in disguise, that rain there, that helped this plane from catching fire? Because it could have...
Possibility was there, but the entire rescue team acted very well and coordinated. It was a complete coordinated effort, and yes, thank God for raining also, so that we were able to rescue everyone with the minimum loss.
Okay, how have the people, in that area responded?
Everyone was supporting. No need to tell it. Everyone was supporting wholeheartedly. It was a complete coordinated effort of everyone, including common public living in around that area.
Okay. Okay. Thank you and appreciate you joining us with those inputs there. That was the DC there from Malappuram joining us, giving us an input on 16 patients being serious there. 18 patients, as we reported, have died, and the other people there being taken care of in the hospital. Well, moving on now, coming back to the tragedy and how it happened. In a tragic accident in Kerala, 18 people were killed and several others injured when a Dubai Calicut Air India Express flight number IX1344 with 190 passengers on board overshot the runway at the Kozhikode airport and fell 35 feet into a valley before breaking into two portions on Friday evening. 127 other people who are injured are currently undergoing treatment in various hospitals. In its latest statement on Air India Express, the Aircraft's Investigation Bureau, that's AAIB, DGCA, the Flight Safety Department, has reached the accident site for investigating the crash. The CMD Air India, CEO Air India Express, Chief of Operations Air India Express and Chief of Flight Safety Air India Express have also reached Calicut. Two special flights have been arranged from Delhi and one from Mumbai for rendering humanitarian assistance to passengers. Union Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan has also reached Kozhikode today morning for visiting the crash site at the Calicut airport and will also meet those injured in the crash and their family members. Earlier, he said that the DGCA has ordered a probe inquiry into the accident. Union Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri expressed grief on the Kerala plane crash mishap. The Civil Aviation Minister will visit Kozhikode today. The Union Minister said that 127 people are being hospitalized for treatment while investigation is underway.
18 हमारे जो पैसेंजर्स थे उसमें दो पायलट्स और अन्य बाकी व्यक्तियों की मृत्यु हुई है. This is most unfortunate और मैं जैसे कहता हूँ कि even one life lost is one life too many. और बाकी जो है 127 जो मेरे पास जानकारी है वो अस्पताल में है, बाकी लोग रिलीज़ कर दिए गए हैं. हम प्रार्थना यही करते हैं कि बाकी जो इंजर्ड है that they recover very quickly और हमारी उसके लिए हम प्रार्थना करते हैं. हमारी जो दो टीम्स है, एक 2 बजे सुबह, एक 5 बजे निकल पड़ी है और अब मैं अभी सीधा एयरपोर्ट जा रहा हूँ और मैं आपको आगे की जानकारी वहाँ से कोझिकोड से.
Meanwhile, Air India Express has changed its color from red to black on its social media platform, mourning the death of its pilots and the dreadful tragedy. A special relief flight has been arranged from Mumbai and Delhi for rendering humanitarian assistance to all the passengers and their family members. Meanwhile, Air India Express has established passenger information center and also issued a helpline number, that's 1800 222271 for those calling from outside. I repeat the number, 1800 222271. Well, for more on that story, on that Calicut air crash, joining us now is our correspondent Suneet Sukumaran, joining us from Kozhikode. Suneet, has the forensic team landed there at the crash site, and has the rescue operation? We just spoke to the DM. The DM indicated that the rescue operations are over and that particular runway is ready for flights to come and, flights to take and land off too. But give us updates on the forensic team that was expected to come there.
The latest information that the latest update that we have got from the airport is that already the prop team, the Air India officials and Air India Express officials have already reached there and they're just investigating the spot. And another update that we have got from the officials is that Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri will also pay a visit today, and we haven't got a time schedule yet. And another thing, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, along with Kerala Governor Arif Muhammad Khan, will also pay a visit to airport, and the runway is completely open for the flights right now. And the Chief Minister and other ministers, the Governor, and also the State DGP and the Chief Secretary will also visit the accident spot, and also they will visit the injured passengers and deceased passengers.
Okay, also looking at this particular, the place of where the accident took place, do you feel that it was raining at that point of time? I did ask the DM too the same question. It was raining there. Was it a blessing in disguise that rains there? Because otherwise that particular aircraft could have caught fire.
Definitely, it was raining since the last 2 days. Kerala is witnessing massive rain. And before the flight touched down the land, he had tried 2 attempts, and it was failed due to the heavy raining, and he couldn't see the runway completely. That's what the information that we are getting from the officials right now. And once he touched down, once the aircraft landed, it was in the high speed of 15 knots. That is the information they have provided to us, and that is the reason behind this crash. And the action taken by the pilot saved the life of many people. Actually, even though it was an accident, even though we have lost 80 people lives, but still we could rescue many people.
Oh well, exactly. We'll leave it there. We'll also keep coming back to you for more updates on that particular story. Thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning. We've also got Arun Sharma, our correspondent tracking aviation for us, joining us this morning. Arun, good morning. Arun, what's the sense that you get? We've been speaking to many experts. What's the sense that you get? This plane had already made two sorties and was making a third attempt to land on that particular runway. Was it that difficult, landing on a tabletop, considering the weather conditions were bad?
There was an extreme weather conditions. There were incessant rains that were happening. Now, what exactly happened? Let's try to understand in this manner that the aircraft did a turnaround. I mean, twice there was a turnaround. So yes, if this was the aircraft, first of all, this is an airstrip. Now, this is at the hilltop. If this is an airstrip, the aircraft tried to land from the eastern side of the aircraft first of all, and then took a turnaround, and then again come back to land at the airport. Now, we know this fact that this is in tough terrain. When we talk about this Kozhikode airport, the Calicut airport, this is in tough terrain, and it's at a hilltop. That means there is a slope over here, there is a slope over here. So when an aircraft is landing, there has to be a soft landing first of all, and yes, you have to control the speed up to a greater extent. When the aircraft is in air, the speed is at around 800 kilometers per hour to 1000 kilometers per hour. But when this aircraft was landing, the speed could not be controlled because of the extreme weather conditions. We know this fact that this was at hilltop. The airstrip was at the airport is at hilltop, and that's the reason and it was also raining at that point in time. So it was very much tough for the pilots. These are the initial reports to control the speed of the aircraft. And as I said earlier, it was a harsh landing as far as this aircraft is concerned. The aircraft did bounced twice on the runway, and after bouncing it for the second time, the aircraft actually lost its balance and it skid and overshot from the runway. And that's the reason why we saw this fact that the aircraft was broken or split into two parts, and that was the primary reason. Yes, but there are two important parts. Is that now the pilot primarily did two sorties, or you can say that there were two turnarounds.
True.
First of all, it came over the airport. Again, it went back, and again it came back to airport. And in third attempt, primarily, the pilot tried to land the aircraft, but yes, could not succeed in that context. Anil.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us. We'll come back to you across the day for more updates on that particular story, trying to understand what went wrong in that deadly plane crash there in Kerala. Well, let's now take a look and try and understand how this particular animation, through this animation, how this accident occurred there in Kerala. This is the runway that you see there, clearly the runway. According to the weather radar, the approach was for runway 28, but the pilots there found it the pilot found it difficult and went around that particular runway twice and then came from the opposite side on runway 10, and the plane crash happened there as it skidded off the runway. This is how it occurred. That's the animation that you see on how this particular plane crash unfolded there in the evening, last evening, at the Calicut airport in Kerala. Well, Ministry of External Affairs has released a 24/7 helpline number for the people who are trying to call and reach their near ones. The telephone numbers, that's the toll-free number 1800 118 797. There are also landline numbers that are there, +91 112301 2113. There's also three more numbers, +91 112301 4104. Another number, +91 112301 7905. You also got a fax number where you can send and also check on details. That's +91 112301 8158. Also send an email at covid19@mea.gov.in. The Indian consulates in Dubai and Sharjah have activated 5 helpline numbers to provide information to the family members of the Air India Express flight that skidded off the runway at the Karipur airport in Kerala. The helpline numbers are +971 56 546 3903, +971 543 090 572, +971 543 090 571, and +971 543 090 575. So 4 numbers that are there in the that are available for people in UAE and also from Sharjah, where they can call and check about their loved ones. Moving on, expressing grief over the plane crash incident, President Ramnath Kovind tweeted, and I quote, "Deeply distressed to hear about the tragic plane crash of Air India Express flight at Kozhikode in Kerala. Spoke to Kerala Governor Shri Arif Mohammad Khan and inquired about the situation. Thoughts and prayers with those affected passengers, crew members and their families." Vice President also expressed anguish over the incident. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, "Deeply anguished by the loss of lives in the tragic air mishap at Kozhikode Airport. My heartfelt condolences to the families who lost their dear ones in the crash and prayers for the speedy recovery of the injured." Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief over the tragic accident. Prime Minister Modi in a tweet said, and I quote, "Pained by the plane accident in Kozhikode, my thoughts are with those who lost their loved ones. May the injured recover at the earliest. Spoke to Kerala Chief Minister regarding the situation. Authorities are at the spot providing all assistance to the affected. The pilots of the Air India Express plane that skidded off the runway and broke into two at Kerala's Kozhikode were among the 18 members who lost their lives on Friday evening. They were Wing Commander Deepak Sate and Captain Abhishek Kumar. Wing Commander Deepak V. Sate was a decorated former fighter pilot with the Indian Air Force who flew planes for Air India before he went on to Air India Express flights. An alumni of the National Defence Academy, Captain Sate stood first in the 58th course of Pune NDA from the Juliet Squadron, and he was also described as very experienced in flying Boeing 737 planes. Captain Sate was also the recipient of the Sword of Honor at the Air Force Academy. International Civil Aviation Organization also expressed grief over the Air India plane crash in Calicut. In a tweet, the International Civil Aviation Organization said ICAO is saddened by reports of the tragic loss of life on Air India Express flight IX1344. Our thoughts are with everyone who's been affected by this terrible tragedy. Expressing grief over the plane crash, U.S. Ambassador to India, Ken Jester, has tweeted on behalf of the U.S. mission, "We are deeply saddened by the news of the Air India accident in Kozhikode. The victims and their loved ones are in our thoughts and prayers." Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Rashtriya Swachhata Kendra today. The Kendra is an interactive experience center on the Swachh Bharat mission. The Rashtriya Swachhata Kendra, that's RSK, was first announced by Prime Minister on the 10th of April 2017 on the occasion of the centenary celebration of Gandhiji's Champaran Satyagraha. The installations at RSK will introduce future generations to the successful journey of the world's largest behavioral change campaign, the Swachh Bharat mission. A balanced mix of digital and outdoor installations in the RSK will impart information, awareness and education on Swachhata and related aspects. After taking a tour of the RSK, Prime Minister will interact with 36 school students from Delhi, representing the 36 states and union territories at the amphitheatre of the RSK, adhering to social distancing protocols. This will be followed by the Prime Minister's address to the nation. While India continues on the path of COVID-19 management, boosted by two significant achievements: continuously rising recovery rate among the COVID-19 patients and the case fatality rate that has remained much below the global average. While the recovery rate is at a record high of 67.98, the fatality rate has touched a new low of 2.05%. The total recoveries have jumped to 13,78,105, with 49,769 recoveries being reported in the last 24 hours. On to football. Manchester City finished off the job they started back in February by deservedly overcoming Real Madrid 4-2 on aggregate to reach the Champions League quarterfinals. Pep Guardiola's side will now face Lyon in the one-game knockout format in Lisbon after inflicting Zinedine Zidane's first elimination from the Champions League, the French manager having won it 3 times in his 3 previous seasons in charge of the Spanish club. Lyon, meanwhile, survived a Cristiano Ronaldo-inspired comeback from Juventus to book a Champions League quarter-final against Manchester City. Leading 1-0 from February's first leg, the French side were handed a soft early penalty, which Depay converted in style. That left Juventus needing to score 3 times to progress, and Ronaldo got one back from the penalty spot. He then thundered his 130th Champions League goal, but Lyon held on to progress into the last 8 on away goals. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of news. Thanks for watching. Take care. strong southwesterly western monsoon flow prevailing over the Arabian Sea and off and along the west coast, likely to continue over the next 24 hours. What it means: scattered heavy to very heavy falls with isolated heavy falls very likely to continue over Kerala and Maharashtra during the next 24 hours. And also during the subsequent 2 days, isolated heavy rainfalls over coastal and south interior Karnataka and Tamil Nadu during the next 3 days. Extremely heavy falls over Tamil Nadu, hilly regions of Nilgiri, Coimbatore and Chennai districts during the next 24 hours. If you look at states that are going to be affected, heavy to very heavy falls over Himachal, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh over the next 2 days. Low pressure there likely to develop over north and adjoining west central Bay of Bengal, due to which you could see increase of rain over east and adjoining parts of central India from tomorrow. Time now to take a look at the weather in your city.